Hi everyone, I'm Ryan. Welcome back to my garage. So I've got a dilemma. If you watched last week's upload, you'll see that I cleaned up the carbs, tested the ones that I intend to fit to this scrambler. I tested them on the Superdrew, and with a slight adjustment, it starts, it runs, it ticks over just absolutely fine. Which led me to question, is there something wrong with the carbs I'd lifted off? Because that bike's been difficult to start recently. So, checking the obvious things, I got to the float height of these carbs and it looks wrong. I can't work out how to adjust it. They're not the same as the carbs I worked on last week. So, let me show you my question here, and I'm hopeful that one of you good people is going to say, oh no, you do this, because I don't know what it is. So this is what I'm faced with. Here's my carb, here's my float. If I set my gauge to 15.5mm, which I've checked, it says it absolutely should be, it looks like it's correct at that side of the float, but it's nowhere near right, not even close to right at that side. So this float, to my mind, needs to be set up around here somewhere. Now, on the carburetors last week, it's really simple. All you do is you just simply bend the little metal tab that sits inside here, and then you can adjust it. Let me show you these ones. These are 100% plastic. There is no adjustment on them. And the little tiny shut-off valves, fuel things, there's one from last weekend, and you'll see it's got a little hook that goes over that metal tang. These ones are shaped differently. They've got a square edge on them. And what they do is they hook in that section there. And they just hang in there. And there is nothing to adjust. I can't bend the plastic. I can't adjust the valve. And when I put them in, they seem to hang too low. So what am I meant to do? I've considered bodge. I've considered putting like a little bit of tape or something in here so that the push is, down slightly. I've very quickly thought about heating these up and seeing if I can just make them change shape slightly, but I think that's more likely to damage them than adjust something. So all you experts out there, what am I missing? How are these adjusted or replaced? Do I need to get rid of them? But I mean, they look legit, they look original, or am I just chasing my tail for no reason? Is there nothing wrong with these, and do I just put them back together and look for another issue? I really don't know. Anyway, until I get that resolved, they can stay off the bike, and I am going to try a suggestion. One of you said, why don't you clean it up with an electric toothbrush and some Mother's Mag cleaner? Shh, don't tell my wife. But I've borrowed a toothbrush. She won't mind, honest, it'll be fine. Let's see if that works. Right. What do you reckon? Think this might work? A bit of Mother's Mag and aluminium polish. Yeah, it looks like toothpaste. Let's try in here. I will work on this for a while and bring you back as see the results. Okay, well, I did that until the battery died, which I suppose is no particular surprise. It only lasted probably 5 minutes. Let's see if it's done anything at all. I mean, it certainly spread the mother's mag around a bit. It didn't feel like it had enough guts to it to really clean. And I just concentrated on this bit down here. Well, it's not obviously any different. That was worth a try. I might give it one more go. I'll let the battery charge back up, give it another go, but it wasn't a miracle cleaning method. Okay, well, if you don't try it, you don't know. I'll carry on by hand then. So I'm just having a quick look at the carbs that were running, and these are the ones that I can adjust. But I did have a persistent issue. It seemed to leak fuel from one side, and then it would stop, and then it would start again. So I've just basically determined that all it is the base of where the little fuel cut-off valve sits. Just a bit dirty. It's just not sealing properly. So I'm going to try and clean it up with a Q-tip and a drill bit. Let's not try introducing some others. Let's just see if I can just clean it up with. Yeah, a little bit dirty. Maybe. No. Just try that a few more times and then test it again. Alright, that seems to be working fine now. Yeah, good. Cool, sorted. Okay, so for the time being, the Super Dream is largely reassembled and nothing's reconnected. There's no carbs in it at the moment. So I'll just resolve my question related to the carbs before I put all that back together. But that gives me some time to continue to work on Sid. But there's not a lot to work on. So at the moment, I've got rear swinging arm, wheel, suspension that I've got not intending to use. And an engine. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on with cleaning up the engine. But that leads me to the question of colour scheme. So I've got mismatching side covers at the moment. And this one has been black. Most of it's fallen off, but it's been black with that piece there shiny. Whereas this one isn't exactly the same. It doesn't have the circular surround on it. It's certainly never been painted and it's all rather dirty. So what colour do I want? I'm thinking I'm going to do the engine mostly black but with some silver highlights. So I'm thinking I still want the Honda to be in silver. Possibly this bit, I'm just giving that some more thought. And then definitely that Honda in silver, but maybe that surface as well with the inner bit in black. And then I think the rest of the block I'm going to want in black. And I think the fins I'm going to want blacked but with silver edges. So there's quite a bit of cleaning up to do. Let me see if I can get started on that. I've got a few brushes and clean up this side stand as well. That's a bit tatty. Let's see if we can't. Let's just take it apart slowly. In fact, let's just start with kickstart, engine cover, and getting this back to a smooth surface. I think that would be a sensible thing for me to try and do this weekend. Right, let's start with the engine mount. So these cleaning pads are something I saw a few people using, including Pete, Rusty Rex, and he seemed to say they were good. So I'm going to give this a try, see what it does on this mount in here. Well, you can see that made light work of that. Okay, let's just give that a few more minutes and we'll get that all tidied up. I think this is cleaned up well enough to stay in its natural silver now. That should be nice and contrasting against what I'm intending to do black on the engine. Good, that was all right. That's okay. Now, what about this? Okay. Let's see if I can find something to test on first. Right, I found an unwanted footrest that should be the same material as the case. At least I believe it to be. So let's see what happens if I touch that. Okay, that was better than I was anticipating. All right, so that's just preparation before I paint it. I've got a reasonable shine on that bit, and that bit's going to stay chrome, well not chrome, polished. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to mask off that circle, or at least these two semicircles, and then give that a quick coat of paint, and I think that'll smarten up all right. Yep, use a tack cloth quickly on it. Try and get any of the dust, debris. Here we are, and I think that panel is ready to go back on the bike. So that's one bit done, and a lot more still to go. But no, not unhappy with that. I mean, it's never going to be a show bike, and it's going to be a scrambler, but it's yeah, woo. And that can polish up a bit better. That hasn't really had a good polish yet, it's just a quick one. Cool, okay. Okay, that's how I'm going to leave it today. A little bit of a clean up and beginning to look alright, and carbs and side panels and things over here. So yeah, I need to sort that out. And then once I've got the working carb and I've worked out how to adjust the original ones, that'll go back on there. And then hopefully I'll get the frame back that is currently away being worked on in the next week or so. So that's it. That's all I've got time for today. Sort of productive, but I'm clearly just finding things to fill in my time whilst the frame's being machined. Well, the frame, I say frame, whilst the steering stem is being machined to fit the frame. Okay, well, I think that'll do for today. Please do like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.